Is the metro area prepared to handle the storm surge or flooding that another hurricane would bring? Since Katrina, that has been a key question. And here to answer it is Lieutenant Colonel Murray Starkle with the Army Corps of Engineers. Colonel, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good to be here, Dennis.
First of all, tell us about the pumps at the outfall canals. What's the status of those?
The pumps in the outfall canals are in great shape. We've done multiple exercises with them over the last couple of months, and we're continually on them, working on them on a day-to-day basis.
The flood wall project along the Harvey Canal is not scheduled to be finished until 2009, I believe.
Right.
How good is the protection for people on the east side of that?
Well, there's still gaps there, but the West Jeff Levee District and the West Bank Authority has done a lot of work to get them some protection, up to about 8 feet of protection. And where those walls are, they go up to 14 feet, but we still haven't gotten, as you noticed, we haven't gotten to those last couple of reaches, and we're going to get those contracts awarded and that construction done by 2009. But until that time, they got about 8 feet of protection, and the Levee District will help flood fight that. So they're much better now than they ever have been. Prior to Katrina, they were at about 4 feet.
Now, how would you characterize our level of protection now compared to pre-Katrina?
It's better, much better. We're more stronger, more resilient. We've increased elevations. You know, the West Bank Vicinity project was about 47% complete before the storm, and we have now work going on every section of the West Bank, with the exception of the 2 tines. So we've got a lot of work done there. We've moved from an elevation on average, it was probably around 4 feet of protection to 8 and 9 feet of protection on the West Bank. And then if you go around and look at the St. Charles Parish, the Jefferson Lakefront, a lot of work there, gone from 7 feet in St. Charles Parish to north of 13 feet of protection. And then we've done a lot of work to increase the reliability and resilience of the system throughout New Orleans East and St. Bernard Parish.
Colonel, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Dennis, good to be here.
When Katrina's floodwaters slammed into the levee system, some of the levees were overtopped. And at the time, there was little on the other side to prevent the water from weakening the levees. As Mike Haas reports, the Corps is now investigating which methods will make the levees stronger to prevent a repeat of what happened during Katrina.
When the Army Corps of Engineers started rebuilding the levee system following Hurricane Katrina, it talked about additional methods to make the new levees stronger, and that meant armoring them.
Because we had a significant amount of overtopping of this levee, and that actually caused a lot of scour on the backside. I think if we were able to armor this levee, we could possibly prevent that type of damage from happening.
And now, as the Corps works towards providing 100-year protection in 2011, armoring the levees is a part of the plan. The Corps' April Villa leads a newly organized armoring team charged with investigating and selecting which products to use and where. During Katrina, overtopped levees scoured out the earth on the protected side, causing in some cases failure of the levee. To shore up the weak points now, the Corps is adding concrete transitions in places where a hardened structure like a floodgate meets an earthen levee. The Corps has identified 250 areas that will need a concrete transition.
So this transition area here will actually divert a lot of that erosion, a lot of that soil scouring further down the levee section where it's not so critical.
Along repaired flood walls, the Corps has added a concrete base, a splash pad to help divert the water in case of overtopping. And it's also using these HESCO baskets beside flood walls to again absorb some of the water's energy. This work is happening right now across the metro area. But when it comes to reinforcing the miles and miles of earthen levees the Corps oversees, that's still in the planning stage. In St. Francisville, the Corps is testing 4 different products that it could use to armor levees. They are called turf reinforcement mats.
It reinforces that turf. It utilizes the grass roots and actually interlocks the roots with the mat, and it strengthens the grass's ability to resist overtopping by a magnitude of 5 times to 10 times.
The mats range from a lightweight material pinned to the levee to concrete blocks laid on top. A layer of soil to grow grass is then placed on top of the mats. And getting grass to grow on a levee steep slope has been an issue. A look at this newly rebuilt levee in Kenner shows big areas of bare ground. Here, rain washed away the grass seed down to the toe of the levee where plush grass grows. Additional rain can cause ruts to form, making a levee more vulnerable. And the Corps says the mats can have an added benefit besides stabilizing the levee. They can hold down grass seed and help it establish quicker.
When you have high salts, One of the problems is the seed doesn't germinate.
And while the Corps is testing the armoring products, here in Laplace, a group of LSU scientists are studying different varieties of grass and soil. The Corps has contracted LSU to find the best and fastest way to grow grass on a levee.
The grass blades actually can slow the water, slow down erosion, and strengthen the levee. And that's part of the armoring system, is to actually have the roots of the grass hold the integrity of the levee together.
While some of the levee armoring is happening right now, a lot won't happen until the end of the project, probably in late 2010 or in early 2011. For Eye on Hurricanes 2008, I'm Mike Ross.
If a storm comes, getting everyone out safely is the key. So what's being done to make sure that happens?
Plus, what route would you need to take if an evacuation is called? We'll look at that when Eye on Hurricanes 2008 continues.
It's fun